ready yet.
Yes, sir.
Maybe seated.
All right, and we can have the witness come back to the stand. So I'll just remind you are still under oath.
Yes, sir.
All right, so where we left off in the interview, you guys kind of took a break for a little bit, right?
Yes.
Okay, and when you come back, there's some further discussion about some basic farming and then details of the weekend of April 25th, 2021. Is that accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and we'll continue to play that, Your Honor. Can we just ask, Your Honor, if it's too loud or if there's an issue with that thing up there? Too loud?
Turn it down. It's a little loud.
Okay.
Where do you live? Right here, East Lansing? Yeah.
Is that-
Yeah, it's right.
Your Honor, is it appropriate to ask the jury if this is better than before when they were trying to listen or worse? Because the speaker is supposed to make it better, but we just want to make sure it didn't make it worse.
Is there anyone?
Better? Okay. Great.
Okay. Thank you.
Out of school. I should say. Oh, yeah. They were DCL, like, after 6 or 7, just about the time they were doing it. So DCL used to be work aware of commercials now. Oh, yeah. And they knew they were there at the school. So Michigan State took them off school, so they had sort of a professional relationship for a while. And then basically Michigan State was working and he became Michigan State Law School. Oh. So I was gonna, I actually was working in Washington and I was supposed to stay there and go to law school. I said, if you're not going to law school, I'm trying to get fit. And I had a game weekend to go see the It might have been an official bowl. I stayed there. I was good. I was taking little chunks. It was in the 80s. I think I was pretty experience. And I don't know what that was like. The 80s, 7 for you. We do that. I didn't get it. I get it. So I'm driving down here this morning and listening to the tape, right? And like everybody, I'm kind of upset about the Lions and what's going on and everything, you know. But I actually remember when Lions used to be sort of good back in the late 80s or the 90s. My dad was Wayne Fine Station. They were really good friends. Oh, yeah. And so we used to spend a lot of time I do a landscape system. And then after that, the mill stone for all 3 years. And, Hamilton had some championship in 1991. They lost to the Redskins. The Redskins ended up coming to Margaret in the Super Bowl. They won because it was the last time the Lions were in.
Last time I went to play out there in 91.
Yeah, they beat the Cowboys at so they came. A couple of years after that, maybe 92, 93, they really played opposite against Green Bay. Sterling Sharp and it overtime. Very first play for the scrimmage, Sterling Sharp. And a long bound when it was. It was like literally the first play. I don't know. And I don't know. They planned maybe make the plans one more time after that until 2016.
Right.
They were just so bad for so many years.
I still found myself Sunday watching, they're gonna, they're done. See, same old Lions, and then they came through, so.
Also, this guy, two guys on the radio this week. The Lions could win a playoff game for the first time in my life. You aren't old enough to remember that.
If I could ask you a generic farming question, Dale, could you, in 30 seconds, if it's possible, describe like the seasons of a farmer? So, winter, spring, summer, what are you doing through those seasons?
I asked you the same question.
Yes.
Right now, we're still, marking our crop for this year.
When you say marketing, you literally mean selling?
Yeah, marketing.
Okay.
Selling. I'm looking at purchasing the inputs, farmers, chemicals, and fertilizer and seed for next year.
Okay.
We're getting machinery in and getting a retool, redone for next year. We'll be taking, as we're going through here in February, we'll be getting orders of hopefully what application jobs we're looking for someone else or what their needs are going to be. So in the building. Our seed corn will be coming, they call it here, they want to bring seed. I'm like, I don't see yet. But we got the first year, we start bringing seed in, we start putting it in the door.
Okay.
And they'll start bringing out soybean seed and put it in their long tanks. Basically, we're getting machinery around up until February, March.
And what happens in February, March this year?
March is, it depends on what Mother Nature does, but March will be the time you can start putting some impacts on. Or you've been putting on some fertilizer, get the fertilizer if it dries, depends on what crops you're doing. We talk about some wheat,
What does that mean?
put fertilizer in. You got wheat, winter wheat that was planted, here a month or 2 ago.
Okay.
You'll be out putting fertilizer on it, you'll put it on once either, while the wheat's still dormant, it doesn't come out of dormancy until the farm starts warming up.
Okay.
And your yard starts getting ready, wheat's going out of dormancy. So
Okay.
you get the fertilizer on, so it comes out of dormancy. Fertilizers have the nitrogen, here it takes a lot of nitrogen from wheat, so it's area to grow. We scout for weeds and bugs. Your first application, wheat you spray 4 times. So you'll be out there, you put your fertilizer on, first application, like February, March. Second application, you'll be out, putting more fertilizer on, and probably an insecticide, or herbicide. Third one would be doing for fungus, and the fourth one would be for fungus and insects. And we end up in probably May will be your last application, unless you get. It depends on if you get a lot of moisture, fungus will grow, for molds and stuff, you'll have to spray for mold in the wheat. Then you get some weevils or different insects will come in, you can spray for those. And at the same time, you're doing burn down, which is spraying it around 240 unit kill weeds in the field. So you go through the utility equipment, it's not all of them, a mess. Put on fertilizer then, bring for seed, let your seed with players, you put more fertilizer. Then you're going to go out and spray an application of problems. Post-emergent spraying, which is going to be like atrazine, metallochlor, which is something that's all keeps the weeds from coming up. Go back out again. July, middle of June, top dress, which is more fertilizer for the north. If you're looking for insects and things, you gotta spray. And you get towards the middle to end of July, you get close to tassel where it's gonna be mounting. We got they call soot, black soot, there's different diseases that are coming over more right now. We're out spraying with everything to stop the black smut and stuff from coming in. And then we'll start your our safe with beans, I mean, we got all the beans, and fly, we're getting Chinese beetles, and different insects, spraying, so it never ends.
If you just keep track of all the stuff in your head, if you have a schedule, a formal schedule for everything.
A lot of it's in my head, I have seasons, it's just.
And even, I mean, I'm
Your body knows when this is coming, or maybe the weather.
that's what I was gonna say, the weather, I mean, you can't predict, like, it's been unreasonably warm, and so coming up right now, you know, not that things we
I
can,
mean, I've done this my whole life, so it's just. It's like,
You use the buffer zone, right?
you know, black, it's hard to find them anymore. It's hard to get them anymore. But you know, there's a lot of truth to it. Grandpa would say that, what was it, the frogs croak so many times before a hard frost. There's so many different sayings. The locust, you know, it sounds like the frogs at night, you hear all the locusts chirping. So many times they chirp at night, you're gonna get frost. So many times they chirp at night, it's gonna rain. These guys had shit down. And then different ones, you know, with the cattle, you Dee Warner County, you cut their horns off, otherwise, they'll gore each other when they get older and bigger. There's sayings out that you don't want to Dee Warner cattle after half moon, you want to do it after full moon, and they'll bleed last. I've got some that's true. You Dee Warner them and bleed, you go in a room, and blood's straight out, you know, the arteries are right up there. Next time you do it, after full moon, there's some truth to this.
affects the tide, so I don't know what.
There's so many, but there's so many things. There's so many things that there's so many things that
You can track something,
there's so many things that I would remember to tell you because it's all like second nature. You know what I mean? It just,
Yeah.
I say go plant corn. Well, I already know where all of it is. You're gonna go plant corn. There's things that's my son and stuff. And you tell me everything, assuming that I know what you're talking about.
And outside of your, when I say your farming, I'm referring to the land that you own, when it comes to, please correct me if I'm vernacular is gonna be wrong, when it comes to land you were contracted to spray or fertilize, do you have a formal schedule for that, or how does that work? So let's say I own 100 acres and I'm gonna hire you to spray. Do you schedule a specific day with me, or how does that work?
You're gonna call me and say, I got 100 acres of corn, I want you to spray it. I'm gonna ask, when did you plant it? You know, how big is the corn down? What fertilizer do you have on it? What do you have on it? You have any chemicals? Have you done anything? Did you till it? Or is it those what means you just went on plant it? You didn't till the ground, so you didn't kill any weeds or string the ground. I'm gonna ask you those questions. Then I'm gonna go on with it. Okay, you planted it the other day, so I know you planted it on Monday, well, I got 2 weeks before I really have to be concerned about it. That's gonna be good, so I run over it and pop back up. You get some of this, all you run over this dead. It's cool. So I'm gonna come out and look at it, and I'm gonna ask you what weeds you have. Do you have thistles? Do you have broad weeds, grasses? So I know what chemistry I have to use to keep it clean. And that you plant around ready for it. You have liquid link. So you have,
Those brands, or what is that?
that's resistance to different herbicides.
Okay.
Round ready, you can spray Liberty Link, you can spray Liberty and it won't kill it. There's different ones, there's a BT, hormone resistant, or bugs that you can die. There's a rootworm resistant, maybe you can put like chlorophos on or something for insecticides. And you can answer all those questions, I'm gonna come out and look at it and go, okay, it's decent, this is what we're gonna use, and I'm gonna come back and spray it. And it's gonna be determined by, if we had rain today, I'm not gonna go out there tomorrow, because I'm not gonna sink you in a bunch of field up and wait till it's dry, schedule it by. If they're calling for rain tomorrow, well, no, I don't want to spray it tomorrow, because the stuff will spray, it takes 4 hours. It's gotta be on the plant or be there 4 hours before, because I will spray this for rain an hour later, well, we just wasted $30-40 an acre. So after we treat all that, and you gotta make sure the wind can't be blowing if you're in a subdivision. I don't want this stuff blowing over on the neighbors, killing their grass, with the kids are out there, they're gonna be turning in, and I'm drifting out, and so I mean, far as we schedule them, we'll be there Monday to spray to 9 o'clock, and I don't have. So it's gonna be when the weather's right. We have faith in either.
Within a window of the appropriate time for that plant, essentially, right?
Right.
Okay. You know, you look at it, you know you have 5 days, you're gonna be there within that 5-day period, but it's never, I'm gonna be here this morning or that morning.
Right.
Okay.
You're gonna be there when, I mean, there's mornings when it's real calm out and there's no wind. Great, let's go spray. And there's days that it doesn't stop blowing, you can't spray it all. You have the competition on spraying still.
And is what you just described as far as your scheduling things, so is that Dale or the kind of the generic farmer? I'll say, is it kind of everyone operate that way, or is that just?
Everyone should, but everyone don't.
I mean, as far as scheduling, is that?
Well, if you go to the Friends of the World, they're gonna schedule, we're gonna be at your farm on Monday, you don't know what time, they're gonna be there Monday, they're gonna be Tuesday. And what they're gonna do for good long, they're gonna put a drip agent in the tanks, it costs about 10, 12 bucks an acre. Or they're gonna tweak, there's different chemistries you can do. We're gonna put on more gallons, so we're gonna have more volume, so we're gonna have more oil. Or we're gonna put on less, we cut more acres, because you got 100 acres, we can only carry 80 acres in our tanks, we're gonna cut back to put 15 gallons on, we're gonna put 10, so we can get one job, so we put less product on, so my actually get more control. So I mean, there's a lot of things you can change, so they can make the schedule. They got young guys that don't have the experience, they're just gonna walk around.
Okay.
So they don't care if they get fined from the FDA comes out and spray the wind because they find the operator, not the company. So you lose your license.
Really? Okay.
So, I mean, the company probably gets a fine here, and don't know, but it goes on. You have to make the determination of doing the job. Not just like driving a car. When you get in there, you're responsible for this, all you do is you're responsible for it.
Okay.
That doesn't make the difference. I mean, that's like in the morning, I try to get up early because that's when the wind isn't blowing. So I mean, the day Dee left, for example, that was a calm day. They will scramble like hell to get out there because I had a full day and I had to go. And I knew the wind was going to pick up. So I had to get this done. So I got to go. He's like, sit there.
Okay. And as far as chemicals go, for you owning and selling chemicals, is there a state license for that? Can you tell me about that?
Get a license from the state.
Okay. Is that covered by Laura or somebody else?
I think Laura and FDA.
Okay. And what sort of chemicals do you have on hand at the farm?
Oh, I couldn't tell you for sure without looking through it. Usually around the back and normal herbicides.
Okay. Anything else?
Insecticides, what do you mean?
I don't know, it's another farm. Oh, something you just tell me this stuff.
You're gonna have Roundup,
Okay.
you're gonna have atrazine or metallichlor, which is a chemical you put down that stays there for 30 or 40 days.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have some kind of insecticide, that'll kill the bugs. You're gonna have some surfactants to make it stick to the plant so it won't hit. Ammonium sulfate, which is dry, it softens the water to make it slipperier so the chemicals work better.
Okay.
As far as, you're not gonna have a lot of stuff sitting there, like, this is the time of year that we can take an order, so we can get a lot of stuff in the spring, so you have it there. But like now, there's currently food in the barn because you're really carrying the targets you need.
Right, you don't want to buy it when you need it.
Right.
Right, okay. Okay. Do you have a question on that? I don't want to move into the weekend.
No, that's not.
Okay. Tell us, what do you remember, and I'm referring to the weekend the weekend of April 24th and 25th, right, that weekend. So tell us what you remember from Saturday.
Saturday, I think, is the day that he called me all upset that she was done. We put tile the night before. I was going to buy her and she rubbed east of the field. It was been Friday night, I think it was. She rubbed east of the field. We all were the tile and talked about what we were doing the next morning. We were trying to finish that field tile for purchases. She was going to take Angel into the game. She wanted me to know how I was going to go. I said, no, I got to get this done. So I was there to put the tile and she took her to the game. Saturday. That's the day I went down to Harrisburg. They were trying to put back in Saturday. I was trying back home. I think I was spraying or something for guys, but I was going one more time to check the cattle. To me, that's not you. Last night, she was talking about what she meant by no. That's why I asked her what she wanted to do. She just wanted to stay and watch the kids or what she wanted to do. That's what she started getting on. She got some from that time ago. She had an 80s. She got, she said she got pizza, sons or something for breakfast burritos that was from staying at the Tacoma that day. So I got them on. Got that to eat. We laid down, had a movie in. I was sleeping in the living room. I got up the next morning around 6 or 4. Ran outside. Over around, it's a chemical juicing me out. Pulled off some big trash out of the building, on the spray around. Sprayed weed, I think I sprayed weed at Leroy's first. Down the road, come back, they had to rinse out. Loaded up with herbicide form. It was burned out. Brooks, I went to Brooklyn, John Cousins. I think that's what Stephanie called. I was in Brooklyn, I think it was Stephanie called me on where he was at. She said, oh, I was going to why Stephanie was calling me instead of Raquel, because she said it called off the one. So I remember Stephanie, I tried to call Raquel, I think it called her 3 or 4 times where she answered. And she said, I couldn't find out. I said, well, she's on the couch. I just left her. Coming out. She says, no, she's not here. I said, well, okay, I'll spray her, but I'm not home. I have not, we're back. So that's when I sprayed with the sprayer, go back here at home. I think I pulled the office every moment. It seemed like I pulled one in the house and went in the house. He wasn't there, she was in the house there first. I walked in the bedroom, looked around. That's when I noticed the bags in the bedroom. They're making bags of bathrooms. I said, where are the bags go? She says, thanks. Next here. She's not there. I'm not sure. She ended up picking them up. She said, oh, the car's here. I said, oh, no, it's here too. I said, it's not good. No. Then Raquel went in the bathroom, looked around, and she agreed with me. She said, well, Mom's hairspray's gone off the counter. Raquel, I don't know which hairspray she got, or Raquel picked out. She took her hairspray. She didn't take Raquel's hairspray. So then, thinking about pulled out from to the office. Hindsight now, looking back, this is weirder than weird to me. Dee's been gone an hour to 2 hours. And the kids are here all in panic, and she's left countless times. This is weird. And then Zach's in the office going through the security cameras, trying to figure out where's Mom's at. He wasn't going through the security cameras, he was beating shit off the cameras because he gave his mom over, he wanted to go track. That's
But I think, I'm sorry for cutting off on incoming, I appreciate the information, but specifically to Saturday, can you describe the source of Dee's anger? What caused her to get upset that day? Can you talk to us about that?
I guess she got into it with Terry, one of our drivers, over something his girlfriend or his wife or his ex-wife, the ex-wife had done. I guess they had a big argument, he she got into an argument with Todd that day over dispatching or Terry or who else they were arguing. He just said he called her out and said, I know what you've been doing. You're taking this money and doing this. And she's been having something like
There's, it's been told to us that you had informed the employees, however, that it happened, that she was taking Xanax and she didn't take kindly to that. Can you describe that to us? So we were told that you had informed, whether it was Todd or Carrie or both of them, that Dee was taking Xanax, and that was a source, a portion of her being upset that day. Okay. And the way it was presented to us was, and I'm paraphrasing, Dale went behind her back and told the employee she's taking Xanax, and I believe her, because she don't be able to know, essentially. Okay. So outside of the phone call you had with her at the soccer game, can you go back to that? What happened from that?
I didn't talk to her unless she tried to call her several times, but she wouldn't answer her phone. I was finished, finished with Kyle, and I can't remember if I went to the spray or spray more. But I know I had to take Todd down to, Todd down here, spray, one of the trucks up there. And I asked Todd, and he said, yeah, he got into it, but he didn't really say much. I called her out today.
What was your instinct then? Do you think this was going to resolve itself, or what did you think at the time? Is this spat kind of counted?
I figured, I'm going to have to go out and talk to Terry, go back to work on Monday, just all go over and,
Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna go in the house tonight, I'm thinking this, I'm gonna go in the house tonight, I'm gonna get, I asked you for something that I didn't, I know nothing that went down, I'm gonna get you out, because I didn't stick up for her with the Terry argument. So I know that there's this battle already, even though she's 100% wrong, so I was thinking, if I can tell her, she argued with Todd, I think it won't, the last thing I need to do is have Todd quit too, because then we'll really be screwed. So I'm thinking, yeah, she's gonna argue, screaming out at me tomorrow, I'm gonna have to go talk to Terry, you can come back to work, same time, it's gonna be home, be tomorrow, that's Saturday, so Monday. I have to talk to him, go back, and get it figured out, we should be gone for a couple of days, let's just be back.
And at that time, you can do on Saturday with how upset she was over this argument with her employees, essentially, Todd and Terry. What do you think her mindset was like?
I don't know anymore, it was just thinking,
Some of the statements you had made in the past were that you were concerned she was abusing her pills and that she may be depressed. Is that accurate?
yeah, I think she was depressed, I think she was, she was upset and depressed, because she didn't know what she was doing for that, because, her best friend quit, and Todd started to quit, so now what else gonna happen with the trucking company, she can't do. That's why she said, we're done, what else we had to do? A lot of this shit was going on. So, yeah, I think corner getting crops input, because, people only for a building.
Because it was a busy time of year in general.
This is time of year.
Okay.
April 25th is when on the calendar pretty much every year I start planning corn on April 25th.
Okay. Barring weather or whatever.
This is the day I started. Before this is too early. This is the day you started.
Okay. And she come home on Saturday, and what happens then?
On Saturday, I see she's in the house. And I call my son, he's still spraying fertilizer. So I go in the house and see Dee, and she said, she's questioning me about, I asked her what's going on with Angelina. She says Angelina's the most in her house, and I'm like, why? It's like 8 o'clock at night, why is she going to her house? Because Amy called and she told me, okay, I gotta go to town to do chores, check the cat, I said, can't do it. No, Amy's going to get her. Okay. So I go over, done 2 times, check the cat, feed him, dog time, feed him, chair. She didn't say nothing. She's actually in her house. Tried talking to Dee, and she's all upset. I says, okay, so I won't talk about it. She says, we're all in the wrong. I know, told me this. Terry quit. I think, yeah, I heard Terry quit. I was upset with me. I said, what do you do? I said, well, take care of more of the kids. What do you want to do? First she tried screaming, started to take fuck. I tried to sit down talking to her, and then she got this. She says, you're using this kind of shit on me. And I'm just trying not to say worse. And, no, this is all talking out. Figure it out. She's talking to me. She's still mad about Terry. She's going on to tell me how Terry's girlfriend did this or did that. I said, I said something about Connors. Tell Terry what to do. And see, she was starting to get my name. She's over. You're here, and she's looking over here talking. Like she's talking to me. I said, you need my name. Yeah. I said, you can't see her. So I went over and got some stuff out of the business, some cook, and that's what she said. We got some breakfast and breakfast. Tecumseh. They had steak or something set up. So she got those out. She got it over. She started to cut it. I think she cut her finger. And she was doing this. Stop. And I kind of warmed up. We ate some breakfast. She ate are you feeling better? Yeah, I think all she wants is your face was sadness. And her words were a little slurred. She said, I gotta take one of my pills. So she went over to cover it. I threw her both pills in the hour. I was okay. She went in and said, I was talking. She still, I says, you gotta drink something too, because you're getting dehydrated. That's why her head was crowded. And she's like, no, and she's just crying. I just don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I said, just, I know. I said, watch the movie. That's what we did. She just took her back a little bit. She was supposed to be a little pressure on her head to make it feel a little better. Took her back and neck, and she said we get better. She's talking a little bit, and I thought things were getting better. Then we went to sleep. I got up in the morning, she was there. I just sneak out because, she didn't know. She went to work.
You had previously described this as one of the worst arguments you had had. Can you describe that to us?
It was one of the worst arguments that we've had in a way that she's never said we're all done. I was confused with what she's talking about. And then after I get into the war, we're all done. And a year and a half later, she couldn't come to the line anymore. The money that she took, the stuff they done with the computer, with the big stuff, I know it's all we found.
Yeah.
She can't write it.
You had previously stated that you gave her some medicine.
I never gave her medicine.
Okay, any idea why you might have said that then?
Yeah, she always had her medicine.
Okay. No idea why you might have been mistaken about a different day or something?
Maybe I went to take medicine off forward to the pharmacy.
Okay, that specific day or another time?
I would try to get another time.
Okay.
I didn't get it for that day.
Okay. So I want to be clear, you did not physically give her any medicine? The medicine she took, she obtained herself from wherever?
Yeah.
Okay. And you only saw her take, you saw her take
I
one
didn't see
pill?
what she took.
Okay.
The living room's here, the medicine she got in the counter, she went over to the guy and she was downstairs.
You're referring to the counter with the wood over it, kind of a dining room table?
The bar, this office, it looks like a wine ready.
That, okay. Oh, okay. You guys stood together on the phone over there? Okay.
Yeah, that covered right there's where she got all the medicine. Her medicine was there, and the rest of the medicine, like her aspirins and normal household stuff, was all over in the kitchen.
Okay.
Kept it over there. She kept all hers separate over there, so it was good for everything. But I was over by the kitchen bar to get the food warmed up, and she's, I'm gonna get a pill or whatever. She went over there, got something out of the cupboard, took it, come back and sit down. Give her the food she ate.
Okay. And then what time do you and her fall asleep?
I was thinking it was about 12 o'clock, probably. I was thinking it's later, but it was around about 12 o'clock.
Okay. Can you describe that?
Just like down the street.
Where? Sorry.
And the living room.
Both of you?
Yeah.
Okay, specifically where on the,
On the floor.
okay, is that common?
Yeah.
And how often do you sleep on the living room floor?
Just about every day.
Oh, really? Okay, why is that?
We always did in our old house, we always just like in front of the TV and watch TV and later on, so.
Okay. And you slept there all night, each of you?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, what time did you wake up?
It was around 6 o'clock.
And what's a normal morning for you? What do you, in great detail as you can talk, what do you do when you wake up?
I get up, I'll get my clothes on, usually brush my teeth, grab my watch, my phone, get dressed, and take my blood pressure pill, take my pill every morning, and I head off,
Okay, now that is in general, or that's what happened that Sunday morning?
I should know what happened at Baker. Just come back in the morning, get up.
And how long did that process take you?
That morning, I think I had to go downstairs because that's right, usually I just did the transplants. We did it all, seen the transplants downstairs. Yeah.
What's a transplant, sorry?
We started vegetables.
Ah, yeah.
Trays, so
Okay.
we had some trays downstairs, and I think the day before, Angelina and I just put the seeds in, I think I went down that morning, I had to water it. So I went right downstairs, we watered the transplants, I went downstairs twice. Team water down, water the transplants, and all that kind of stuff, what goes on. I went,
Okay, so I'm gonna start here really slow. So you wake up, you're on the floor, and what's the first thing you do?
get up, and walk over, take my blood pressure pill, and start getting my clothes on, because I'm in the phone in the garage.
Okay,
So I'll get up, I'll go over, get a glass of water, try to do everything every morning. First thing I do is take my blood pressure pill, I forget. Get that out, take a pill, go to the garage, pick the uniform up off the floor, so I took out the night before on the floor, picked them up, came out the garage, get my new uniforms out, and put mine, put them in bed, brush my teeth, go back out, so I have to grab my phone, my watch. This is my routine I do every day.
okay,
Then, on the calendar, if I always make myself notes of what I need to do for the day. I don't have my paper, but on that day, I'm sure I had to know where I was supposed to go spray and what I needed to do, so that I didn't forget anything. I don't separate that corner, so I'm talking. Back with, all went out, the back door, got it, the boat up, the gate. Usually I make a circle around the back of the farm, and what I do is I go out and I look at the grass, first what I do with the grass, I'm trying to sit clean up, leaves all back. I put different stuff in the paint, it's dry, and it goes to some different additives, and something like that around, get the sprayer started, and come back, I'm gonna get the JCB out of the barn. If I have a cooler for lunch, I'll go back in the house, grab it out, walk in, take it with me. Start loading up the sprayer.
do you typically shower in the morning? No, you shower in the evening, I presume?
Usually right before bed.
Okay, so, I wanna make sure I'm clear. You wake up, take a blood pressure pill, grab your clothes in the, grab a glass of water, grab your clothes in the garage, come into the bedroom, maybe the bathroom, brush your teeth, get ready, dressed.
I do dress down
Okay, get dressed and we're just in the house, which is irrelevant. And then you grab your phone, your watch, and then do you eat breakfast in the morning, or you're ready to leave? Okay, so specifically on that Sunday morning, what happens from that? You're dressed, you take your blood pressure pill, you have your phone, your watch, what do you do next?
Brush my teeth, get my phone out, go out the door, and I gotta go check the dogs.
Which, I know you have a bunch of doors back there, which door is common for you?
Which everyone,
Okay.
do it, don't matter.
Okay,
So sometimes I go to the backside of the door, or sometimes usually I try to go up to the garage.
okay,
Or the laundry room, I mean, just wherever I park the Kubota, where, I gotta pick it up, first thing I go to the garage, because I gotta grab two cans of dog food. Or if I don't have dog food, I gotta go out to the shop and get it, so I can just,
okay. And I apologize, so you leave out through whatever door, or first thing you do?
first thing I'll do is I'll
many acres is Levi's, how many is your spread?
I have to look in the book to sure, I think it was only 10. It took me more time to get that one down.
Okay. How long is 10 acres on the cake yet? Okay.
It's a longer than full. Levi's is down there, I did the weed, come back. It seemed like they had a flusher in, so I gotta go down about 3 times with water, pull it back on the road, straight to the road, rinse the boot out 3 times, come back in. Look and see if I got any chemistry that'll take either the loader or the JCB. Come over, the front buildings where we keep the chemicals in the water. I keep some back right low, but all the small stuff, it's little jugs or little things we keep up by the office, so if somebody shows up to buy some, we just go to the market, just get a jug outside for lots of water.
Okay.
So I'll go there and get what I need from my jobs, put it back to the boat, drive back to the barn, walk this morning, fit the boat, I'll take the JCB up there and forklift, bring them down now. So that morning, I think I made 2 or 3 trips with the boat, I'll get different jugs, because that just, that's all on my sheet right there, sheets.
Okay.
So my log sheets, I mean, if you ask what time I went to Leroy's, I mean, go get my sheet, and tell us what time I loaded the barn, what time I got to Leroy's, and when I'm back, because I'm loading the next one on there, right on the gales, and everything, with the tank, in the water. That's, like the sprayer, I write down the sprayer, when I leave the field, I try to write down, the acres in it, whose name it is, so there's, I'm trying to double up so I don't miss it.
Right.
So that I've got those two.
Okay. So you walk in the house, you go to feed the dogs, and what's the next thing you do? And you get a talk cities in it. When you say Kubota, what are you referring to?
The four-wheel little, what you call it, a little ATV.
Okay. Like a side-by-side with a cargo area?
Yeah.
Okay. And where is that normally parked?
It's usually parked out by the dogs, right behind the garage.
Okay. And you
Depends
get
on where it's, leaves it at night.
and you get that, and where do you go from there?
That morning, we drove around, spring, we drove around the boundary of the farm. And I stick my hand out, the grass is up, so through the grass, see if there's 200 or what it is.
Okay. And then what?
Then I go over to the sprayer, and start checking oil, starting to run some more down in there.
Okay.
That's not on my list, I've got a load.
Okay. And what happens from there?
Spray that, back, and south, and to the roads, spray that.
Okay.
And then I load it up, I load it more in back. Balance, I have spray it pretty neat.
Okay. And can you describe to us what you do with the JCB that morning?
I would have pulled up, that was, pulled it out of the barn, pulled it up by the house. Oh, I think it was just for trash that day. And, well, no, I had to put the forks in when I pulled that back. There was a pallet that I had to put all himself in the barn.
Okay.
Usually, there's the bucket, dump it in, jugs, so all that trash goes in the bucket.
Okay. You said you pulled it up to the house. Can you describe that to us?
I think I pulled up behind the house. I think I had to run and grab my damn sheet, my load sheet. I don't remember for sure. I know I took the Kubota around. It was out. The dry sprayer started. I know I got the JCB, the loader, pulled around by the house. And I run in. I had to grab something out of the house. I run back out, got the loader, back out. Put the forks on it.
And what did you see in the house when you had to run back in there? Okay. She's still asleep. And at this point, it seems like a silly question. Was anyone else on the property or in the house? Okay. And
It's still got about 6:30.
that was my next question. How long had it been? Okay.
It's about 6:30 now. I can get to that point, maybe close to 6:37. Got 10 running around moving, and starting to spray her up. You know, just running, kind of wild. Grab a little loader, pull out there, paddle with the forks.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
This is going to help me just because I don't talk farm talk. When you say you leave the house, you go and just show me, I think I know, show me where the dogs are.
Over here.
Okay, and then you jump in the Kubota?
Well, there's just that one here by the house.
Okay,
Just back there, pulling down this way. Get the drive around through here, field grass.
that was gonna ask which field you're referring to.
There's no run through here, fields and grass.
Okay,
Go around through here, wherever it is.
okay,
See how wet it is.
okay. And is that common for the farmers to check the grass each morning, or that's just part of what you do, so you know what you gotta do?
This week, it's been,
Okay, okay. And then where was the sprayer part? Is that where? Okay. And you started, and they were like, load everything else up, you said those up air, is that so, like, wiggle air and spray?
well, suspension goes up those here.
Ah, when you started, okay. And where was the JCB part?
JCB's inside the barn here.
Okay. And you said you pulled up to the house, can you show
Show
me?
it, pull out here, pull around this way, pull up over here. Grab one of the house and back down, back down. There's another barn.
Okay, you want to make some notes on it, would you, those things? She said this is the Kubota.
Yeah.
Could you just draw next to the Kubota list? You got a better pen anywhere? Might work. Where's the on all fronts here, Vernon?
Maybe it's the paper, this is paper sitting here.
And then, where is the, if you can mark the sprayer, is it out on the paper, that part? It's okay. And where's the JCB part in the list? And then could you just draw next on there for me, just to make sure I understand? Different people call the buildings different things, so I don't want to make sure. Okay. What do they call the dry bar? What was that?
This is the tractor barn.
Oh, okay. And then there's a wet bar? Does that make sense?
Little barn over here.
See, that's what I mean. It's different people.
Like all tanks in here. So,
Okay. And then you pull onto the JCB and you show where you parked it by the house?
now pull up here.
Okay. Can you mark that for me?
Pull up here.
Okay. And then, where do you go from there?
Right up over here.
Yeah.
Back down around through here. Get stuff out of the barn. Here. Stuff up here.
Okay. And then what happens after that? You drive the JCB over there, and you're here in the JCB, and then what happens?
Sprayer.
Okay. And when you, how many minutes do you think from when you were in the house to when you got over here and left in the sprayer, how many minutes is that, if you had to guess, that Sunday morning?
Before I left with the sprayer.
Correct.
Go ahead. My book.
If you had to guess, do you think is this an hour long process? Is this
Half an hour, 45 minutes.
Okay. And
And I don't, I'm trying to remember if I had to rinse before I loaded the weed spray out, or if I rinsed. I don't remember, I'll look at my book, I actually, I'm just going ahead with my book.
not with me now.
See, because I keep that book in there on the shelf, so if I spray for atrazine, say, with it yesterday, now I'm going out there and I got spray weed, I'll look at that book, I had atrazine there, I'll fuck, I cannot spray weed with atrazine.
I see.
So now I'm gonna rinse out, so I got rinse.
Those are the papers that you gave me.
Yeah,
We were out there one day.
yeah. They would have ran on the Hummer.
That was in
Do you guess what his nickname is now? Howard. Oh, really?
I've been looking at the book, I can't believe I had to come out and rinse. If I had to rinse it'd be an hour. If I didn't rinse out, if I looked at half an hour, 45 minutes, I might get all the chemicals. The sprayer's in here, JCB's here, I can go up here, got some stuff out of the building in front here, took back, measured it out, because it's an ounce, so it's a little bottles, you gotta really measure the shit out, right? Put the sprayer down, pull it out.
Okay.
I mean, it should be on the camera, use the camera, and I go to the bar, will show you pulling it out of the sprayer.
Okay, and specifically with the JCB, I think this is the most question I have to ask that's out there. So the Justice for Dee crew, I should say that at the time, I think the adult show tracks perhaps Parker had seen the JCB tracks, and that's why they had asked your way to pull up to the house. Is that accurate?
They didn't ask me.
That's
They asked me.
correct.
They didn't ask me.
Okay. Okay, that was understanding, because the JCB tracks were where the Hummer's parked. Is that news to you?
parked out front.
Yeah, so,
Well, then I pulled the Hummer back around behind the house later that day, and I pulled it up next to the grass where I was parking.
right. So when they had seen the Hummer, you already put it back to the house and the JCB tracks were underneath it.
Oh, probably.
Okay. And that's from when you pulled up to the house?
Yeah.
Okay. And the JCB?
Yeah, the JCB, I pulled up there, the Hummer was out front, and never leave anything out front, because I wasn't gonna mess with it, the keys and everything.
Yeah,
So I
okay.
jumped in the Hummer, pulled back around the house, and I pulled it over next to the grass and parked it.
In the normal spot, essentially?
Well, normal spot's the garage, but we've been parking it outside because I think she had something else in the garage with her caddy, or she parked in the middle of her caddy. So I just pulled it over next to the grass, was out way, because the rest of the area there is where the rest of us park. You know, or my pickups there, Jared, or whoever pulls in, that's where they park.
Okay. So you had got the JCB, pulled back into the house, because you forgot your sheet or something, and you get back in and you go back to the barn and lower the sprayer. And when you're in the house, she's sleeping. Right, okay. So how did the Hummer get from behind the house to the office?
In that morning,
Yeah.
that was there when I came back. That's where the element that was out front.
Okay. Where was it when you left?
When I left, it was out my house. I think there was a Hummer, I don't remember.
Okay.
Seeing the Hummer, I mean, it's a lot, I don't remember. But I do remember grabbing it from in front of the office, and parking it back behind the house, because we never leave anything on my room.
Okay. So it was behind the house when you left?
I don't remember. I don't.
Okay.
Well, I guess easier when you left to go to Brooks or wherever. I wasn't parked in front of it.
I don't remember seeing it up there. I don't.
Okay.
I mean, I don't remember sitting up there. I almost think I didn't look that way. I mean, I can tell you where a piece of our machine is. I can't tell you where the Hummer's at. It's just not something that I'm paying attention to.
Okay. So then you get in the sprayer, you go down to Leroy's, and you spray, you said, Ryan, I'm sorry, how many acres? At 10?
It was 10.
10 acres.
I mean, look at the book, that.
Okay. Then you come back, and then what happens?
I think I had to flush out the hose with that spray cap. And then we probably jumped to the quote again and pulled out front, or I had enough, I don't remember, but I had the chemistry in the barn, and
Okay.
I loaded up. If I had rinse out, I'd pull them back every time to rinse out, pull back in, loaded. What's the next job?
And the next time, Ryan, I'm sorry, you're going to, was it towards Brooklyn?
It was on Brooks.
On Brooks, I'm sorry, okay. And then where do you go from there? Okay. And then what happens then?
That's when the stuff came off, and that's what we did that.
Okay. And what do you do after that?
I had to back to the house when I got spraying.
Okay. And who's there when you get home?
The kids were there.
The kids meeting, I'm sorry.
So then Zach, Cal, I think that was it, was Zach, Cal, and Dustin. He was there, their neighbor.
Okay. And you said they're in the office, and what are they doing?
They're going through the computers. Looking for the security office, security things we games.
Okay.
Which I was dumbfounded they even had the codes to get into it.
Yeah.
And
And when you access the cameras, what were you looking for?
I never accessed it, to be honest. I didn't have the code to get into it.
Yeah, when you did access the cameras, what were you looking for? I know it's a silly question, but
I was looking to see, what was going on at home, or everything. I didn't look at anything other than what Zach was there, because they had dropped out that computer.
okay. Well, there's actually no doubt you accessed the cameras that morning. I'm just asking what you were looking for. It's a silly. We're trying to move the sheriff's department, so we just need you to explain everything as silly as it sounds, you know.
They were looking to see what cars were buying, what big deal.
Okay, and that's what you did when you accessed them?
I didn't access it. Zach already had it on the screen.
Yeah, we promised to be honest with each other.
I did look.
Just listen, there's absolutely no doubt you access the cameras. If you were just looking for your wife, then just say you're just looking for your wife. I don't
I was
understand.
looking for my wife, but I didn't access the security cameras that morning.
You had access to them on your phone, correct?
Yes, if it'll work, it would not work.
Okay, so when you tried to access the cameras, what were you doing?
I was looking to see who was in the office, and Dee was on the cameras.
Okay, so you're just looking for Dee, that's all I was trying to get. Sam,
Looking for Dee, see where she's at, but I already figured she's at Zach's house, but.
Okay. And that's specifically from your phone, that's what you're attempting to do, right?
Right.
Okay, and is that, I something called milestone. Milestone. Is that an app you typically have problems with? I'm not familiar with it. Is it?
Yeah, it's horrible.
Okay. What are you supposed to be able to do from the app?
We're supposed to be able to see the cameras and see what's going on in the cameras.
Okay. And how often do you try to use it?
I haven't tried to look at it, on and off. I'll look every day, once a week or something, look at it.
And what percentage of the time do you think it works?
5-10%.
Not too big of a trick, right?
No, I mean, if you're in the office, then you want to look at the camera system. When you're in the office, it'll work. If you're in the house, it'll work. If you're anywhere else, it don't work.
Okay.
Because you have internet access, I guess, but with your phone, you shouldn't have to, and it don't work.
And do you have any other issues with your phone, or is it through with that app, do you think? It's the application itself?
I don't know, your phone's always had a glitch, and a lot of stuff don't work.
But by and large, it's this application that gives you issues. Okay. Do you pretty much carry your phone with you at all times?
Most of the time.
Okay. Specifically that Sunday, you had your phone with you all day?
I'm pretty sure it was the only thing.
Okay.
The only time you know is if you drop it somewhere, you're backtracking, trying to find it.
Yeah, you and me both. And that Sunday, do you remember about what time Stephanie called you to ask where he was?
I was thinking it was around 9 o'clock, 9:30.
Okay. And until that point, as far as you knew, she was at home, right? Okay.
I think I texted her, telling her I was spraying so that she could know what it.
Okay. But until then, things are normal. You don't know any different, right? Essentially. Okay. And then, what were you doing? Okay. Why did you access the Cadillac that morning? What did you want the Cadillac for in the garage?
This is the Cadillac.
You accessed the Cadillac. You've been in here while you've done that. I'm not
There's
sure.
something in it, I had to get out of the car.
I'm not sure.
If I opened the door, I got it out, but I didn't. She's got a key.
I'm not saying you drove it. I'm just saying you accessed it for some reason. Don't recall why.
Access to me, I got it immediately. I was like looking at my app on my phone.
I'm not certain what you did physically with the vehicle, but you had access to the car.
Well, because I probably looked at my phone to see where it was at.
Okay.
That would be access to me.
Okay. I'm not familiar with what you can do with that.
And
So,
the non-star, I mean, I see the non-star button on my phone, it tells me where it's at.
okay. And
Tell us about that.
Yeah, tell us about that. I'm not familiar with that.
Just the non-star, I mean, you got non-star app on your phone, you can start your car, lock it, to your phone.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I just look at the phone and tell me what car it's at, it's in the garage.
Okay. And for what purpose were you doing that morning?
They told me, well, it's not there, I see the car's there.
Okay. So you would have accessed that app, and it tells you where the car is, and that's why you would have done it to see where she was.
Yeah, see my car's, if the car's on, so she got home.
Okay. And what about when you tried to locate her iPhone? For what purpose was that?
See what she got.
Same thing.
Everybody was trying to find her on iPhone.
Okay. Okay. And it had been described to us that when things weren't comfortable between the two of you, she didn't like you knowing where she was. Did she know you had access to those things at the time?
So,
Was that ever a point of contention in recent times? You know, overall, there have been disagreements about that. What about leading up to this incident?
okay, right, she were out there, but she could access my phone.
Okay.
It's kind of safety, if I don't, she can't get hold of me, she can find my phone, see where I'm at, her, you know, what she doing, send it to her, she can find her.
Okay. Do you have any more questions about Sunday?
No.
Okay.
All right, so during the course of that interview, you had the defendant draw on something. What was that?
It was a aerial view, a satellite image of the Munger farm.
I'm going to hand you People's Exhibit 124, and we are going to, okay, we're going to switch it out on the iPad. I'm going to have you get it out, though. Exhibit 124. And is that the exhibit I've handed you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what was the point of that exercise?
The intention of reviewing this with Mr. Warner was to have him specifically mark where he parked the front end loader on 425, the morning of 425.
Okay. If I recall correctly, you had him draw 4 different X's on this map. Do you recall what the other X's were for?
Yes, there's one X in the very top right-hand corner that was to get the pen to work. There is one X directly north of the house where he indicated that he parked the front end loader. The other 2 X's...
Hold on, I'm going to have you stop. So you said directly north of the house?
So in the image, you can see a white car
Yes.
north of the house. There is an X to the right of that.
Okay,
That is where he indicated that he parked the front end loader.
okay. And do you recall what the other 2 X's are?
The other 2 X's are, I asked him miscellaneous questions about where he picked up the side-by-side from and where the front end loader was initially parked.
Okay. And why are you asking these questions?
The other 2 questions, honestly, were more of a decoy. The only thing I really wanted to know was where he parked that front end loader that morning.
And so at this point in time, had you reviewed some of the stuff but not all of the discovery in the case or the evidence that had been gathered so far?
I had reviewed probably in the high 90% of everything, if not everything in its entirety.
Okay, so why do you care where the JCB was parked that morning?
It was observed, there were tire tracks observed from the front end loader, and when asked about it, Mr. Warner later explained that he returned to the house in the front end loader.
Okay.
Where this X is marked and where those tracks were is also where the Hummer is typically parked and where it was parked that day. His statements were that Dee must have moved the Hummer to the office, but he states when he returns to the house in the front end loader and parks in this spot that she's inside sleeping. So then it begs the question of these 2 objects cannot be in the same place at the same time, which means the Hummer must have already have been moved when he pulled up to the house.
Okay. And you asked about a number, 3 other items. So first you asked about the, I believe the milestone.
Yes.
What was that?
Milestone is the application used to access the surveillance cameras on the Munger property.
Okay. And Find My iPhone, what's that?
Find My iPhone is an application. If you're granted permission between different Apple products, you can look at their geographic location on a map.
And the My Cadillac app, what's that?
That is another application offered by General Motors and or OnStar in which you can do a variety of things, including looking up the geographic location of a vehicle.
Why are you asking these questions?
All of those applications were accessed by Mr. Warner that morning, and they were all done prior to when he states that she realizes she's missing.
Prior to when he realizes she's missing?
He's very consistent in that the first time he knows that she's missing is when he receives a phone call at approximately 10:30. However, he accessed all of these applications, in his words, to find her well before he knows that she's missing.
Okay. So after you do this interview, you kind of continue this investigation for a couple of years, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And again, we're going to get into the rest of the details of that investigation at a later point in time. I want to focus right now on August 16th of 2024. What happened on that day?
On August 16th of '24, I executed a search warrant to look for anhydrous ammonia tanks at a property on Paragon Road.
Okay. Were there two properties that were searched for anhydrous tanks?
Yes, there was also a property searched on Carson, just north of Munger, kitty corner from the Munger property.
Okay. I'm going to show you a handful of exhibits, sir. First, Exhibit 90. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
Okay, where's that location?
That is at the barn I searched on Paragon Road.
Okay, and was this photograph taken August 16th, 24?
Yes.
Exhibit 91. What's this?
This is at the same location. This photo was also taken on that date.
Okay. 92.
The same thing, ma'am, on Paragon Road, also taken on that date.
Okay. 93.
This is outside of that barn, the same location, also taken on that date.
Exhibit 94.
The same, ma'am.
Exhibit 95.
The same.
Same date and location?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Exhibit 96.
Same date and location, ma'am.
Okay. Exhibit 97.
Same date and location, just outside of the barn.
Okay. Exhibit 98.
Same date and location inside of that barn.
Exhibit 99.
Same date and location on the outside of the barn.
Okay. Exhibit 100. Okay. What's this?
This is inside of a separate portion of the barn, taken on that same date at that same location on Paragon Road.
Did you make observations on this tank?
Yes, initially it stood out because all of the other tanks were outside and or in the open portion of the barns by one another. However, this tank was by itself in this area.
Okay. Did you make any other observations?
Yes. On the in this image, what would be the back or the left-hand side of the tank, there was a non-factory weld visible from the outside.
Okay. Exhibit 105, I'm going to have you look at that. Is that one of the welds you were just discussing?
Yes, this is that back end of the tank. Obviously, this is the top of the picture is the top end of the tank.
All right. Exhibit 73. Is this another portion of the weld that you observed?
Yes, so this would be the bottom of the tank, and or if you're going from top to bottom, a continuation going downward from the previous photo.
Okay. I'm going to show you Exhibit 101. What's this?
This was a handwritten note that was wire tied to the valve on top of the tank.
Okay. When you say the tank, are you referring to tank 34 that was in Exhibit 100 that you just detailed?
The previous photos, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I'm going to hand you Exhibit 102. You still have the scissors?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know that we need it open until the jury wants to see it. Okay, what is Exhibit 102?
This is that tag that's pictured in this image.
Okay, is there writing on both sides of that tag?
Yes.
Okay. Exhibit 103. What's this?
This is the same tag as the previous image, just depicting the writing on the other side of it.
All right. Exhibit 104.
This is just an overview of that portion of the tank. You can see that tag on the right-hand side.
Okay. And again, all of these photographs were taken on August 16th, 2024?
Yes.
Okay. After you made those observations, what did you do with that tank?
I contacted a tow truck company, and I escorted it to the Ambassador Bridge for an x-ray.
I'm going to have you look at Exhibit 106. And is that the image you received from the Ambassador Bridge?
That's correct.
Again, this was on that same date that you observed the other tanks, 8/16/2024?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Based on this x-ray, what did you do next?
I escorted the tank to the Michigan State Police Crime Lab in Northville for some preliminary evidence collection. From there, it was escorted to the Monroe Post for secured storage until we could make arrangements to open it the next day.
Okay. And did you in fact open it the next day?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to have you look at Exhibit 107. What's that?
That is that same, actually, that is the opposite end of the tank that I observed the non-factory weld on. We cut basically a window into the tank so we could take some images and gather some, an idea of what was inside of it before we continued cutting it open.
Okay. And this was on August 17th, 2024?
Yes.
All right. What did you observe when you placed that camera inside there?
With the light that I'm holding, you can see inside of the tank that there was something wrapped inside of a blue tarp.
Okay. I'm going to show you Exhibit 108. Is that what you observed in there?
Yes, ma'am.
Once you made that observation, what did you do?
Once we gathered some videos and photos of it, we then continued opening the tank, essentially almost like a cigar cut, removing that end that we made that pilot hole on.
Okay. And then what?
Once it was open, we were able to remove the object that was wrapped inside of the blue tarp.
Okay. And what was the object inside the tarp?
It was human remains.
What did you do with the human remains?
The remains were escorted to the medical examiner's office to have an autopsy performed.
Do you know if there were any chemicals inside that tank?
Yes.
All right. Describe to me if you can estimate an amount of chemicals in there.
Laying along the bottom of the tank, there may have been a half inch to an inch of what smelled like ammonia.
What about the tank? What was done with the tank?
From there, the tank was escorted to more long-term storage until it could be evaluated at another date.
Okay. Was that tank processed?
Yes.
All right. Was it processed on the 17th or a different day?
It was processed by lab personnel on the 16th and 17th.
Okay. At this time, Your Honor, I would be tendering Detective Dreer to Ms. Charday with the understanding that I am calling him back to actually get into the details of the investigation at a later point.
All right, Ms. Shardy.
Thank you. Detective Lieutenant Drew, my understanding is you are going to be coming back to the stand and testifying next week? Is that accurate? That's your understanding as well? Okay.
I don't know the question. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yeah, sure. I should have a question mark at the end. Is it your understanding, having just heard Ms. Wise, that you are going to be testifying next week as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to save my questions for next week. I don't want to bifurcate them. Okay, thank you, sir.
Can I ask counsel to approach briefly? Okay, so I've had a brief discussion with counsel at the bench, my understanding that both sides are in agreement with holding off on any questions from the jurors until Detective Dreer has been back to finish his testimony. Is that accurate?
That's correct, Your Honor.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, Detective Dreer, you can step down.
Should we take these exhibits, Judge?
You can take those with you, yes. All right, so at this point, we will take a recess. I think there's some technology we need to set up in the courtroom for the next witness, so we will do that, and we'll bring the jury back in when we're ready to proceed.